Watch out now, watch out now. Howdy, hey guys, welcome back. We got another video. Guys, before we get into this video, I'm gonna just go ahead and say, first of all, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, all down there. Make sure y'all subscribe first. After you subscribe, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and press the share button. Go to Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Share my video, text it to somebody, just share it to anybody. I don't care who you share it to. Like it, share it, and comment down in the comments, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So in today's video, I have my wife's car here, and this is a 2013 Chevrolet Traverse, and it has the 6-cylinder, I think it's a 3.6 liter engine in it. And what I'm having issues with, the first thing I noticed was I had a bunch of oil that was accumulating down on my valve cover, all that oil. And once I realized it, this little boot, this boot right here is broken, and it's split and cracked. And this boot is the PVC valve hose, and it goes from the valve cover gasket, the valve cover, which is there, all the way back to the intake boot. And we're getting a lot of oil pushing through that valve, as well as I'm getting a lot of oil into my intake boot, which is right here. So what I'll be replacing on this vehicle is the PCV valve. And I have to say it slow, because if I don't say it slow, I end up saying PVC valve instead of PCV valve. In this particular vehicle, it has two. And when I went to my local parts store, I told them I have two. And I kept saying a front and rear. But in actuality, they call it, on this engine, they call it left and right. So this is the left PVC valve, and the one on the back is the right PVC valve. And we're going to be replacing this one right here, which is the left, only because my local parts store only had the left in stock, and the one on the right they did not have in stock. They would have to order it, and I went on to let them order it. But I'm gonna just, instead of installing a new one, I'm gonna take this one off and see if I can clean it, because what's causing all this oil to come backed up here, as well as to get into my intake, is that one on the right side has to be clogged, which causing this intake, which causing this motor not to vent as it should. So instead of venting, it's actually clogged up to the point where it's forcing oil back through. So we're burning oil as well as we're losing oil. And periodically I check my oil in this vehicle, and it's a little low sometimes, and this is where majority of that oil is going, as well as it's going back into this intake boot. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this intake boot as well as this hose to show you guys the oil that's built up in this boot. So we'll go ahead and get you guys set up, and we'll do that. Bam, we're back, guys. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and remove this intake boot, as well as remove this PCV valve hose. And if you're wondering why, if something looks a little different, this engine normally comes with like a cowling piece here, that like a decorative piece, and all you would do is you would loose your oil cap and just pull this piece up. It's like snapped on with some like rubber mounts on it. You just pull it up, snap it off, screw your oil cap fill back on. And next, what you want to do is you want to get you either a flathead screwdriver or a 8mm socket. And with that 8mm socket or a flathead screwdriver, you want to loose this clamp here, and it's another clamp right there. You want to loose that clamp right there. So we're gonna go ahead and get those clamps loose. Grab this one. And you don't have to take it all the way out. You just want to loose it so that you can slide this hose from off. Now that you have that one loose, you go on the back side of this engine, loose this one. Now that you have it loose, and to take this hose off, this PVC valve hose, this little button here, this white piece here is like a little button, and it expands and opens and closes like a jaw, and that jaw is what clamps down to this little nipple here. So if you press this little button here, this hose should pull right off. All right, don't drop it like I did. So once you got that out the way, we can go ahead and slide this intake you can slide this end off and take this in. Just loosen it a little bit more. All right, take this in and pull it off. And if you can see, let's see if I can get some sunlight into it. So as you can see, this intake has a lot of junk, debris, and old oil and everything in it. So this is what I'm talking about. If you can see down in there, I'm not sure how good the camera's gonna pick it up. But there's a bunch of oil in there. And to clean that all out, what you want to do is get some carburetor cleaner or some brake cleaner and just spray it out real good and get all of that clean. So I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse. We're gonna go ahead and clean this intake out real quick. And once we get that intake clean out, we'll go ahead and start removing the PCV valves. Be right back. Bam! All right, guys. So what I have here is just some brake parts cleaner spray that I got from Walmart, cheap stuff. Or you can use carburetor cleaner. It doesn't matter. And like I said, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and spray the intake boot to get some of that old oil and crap that's built up in there. Get some of that out. So I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse real quick and we'll get this cleaned up. All right, guys, so the next step after we done clean that boot off, what we're gonna do is go ahead and remove the valve itself, the PCV valve itself. And the only thing I did was, it's this hose here that goes into this purge valve. I just took this hose off to give you guys a better visual of what we're doing. To get this valve off, I just have a pair of needle nose pliers, and it's nothing really holding this valve in but a rubber gasket. So just work it, break it free, and pull it straight up. And that's what we're left with. So that's the one on the left removed. Now to remove the one on the right, it's a little bit more difficult. So I'll go ahead and get the camera set up so you can see that one, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so the second one on the right side, what you want to do is, it's a hose right here on the top of this intake, and it's the one right here. So you want to take that hose and follow that hose all the way back behind the engine, and I see if I can get there. So you see this hose right here? If you follow this hose all the way back, it ends right here. If you see my finger, I'm trying to get the camera in there so y'all can see. So this little tab here, you want to pull that tab back and pop that line off. And once you pop that line off, to get this off, what you would do is, so we're going to use the same needle nose pliers, and this is just pushed down in there. So all you want to do is just pull it out, straight out. So if you grab it with the pliers, tight spot, guys. I'll be right back, guys. Let me grab a better pliers. Alright, guys, sorry about that. The camera was kind of in my way and I needed to get in there with my hands and do some persuasion. So I got it pretty much all the way out. Now you want to just grab it and pull it the rest of the way out. Alright, guys, so we had an issue. So this is the first valve that we took out, which we have it out. But I have a new one, which is here. So I have the new one, but this hose here, I went to my local parts store to get this hose, and they did not have this hose in stock. So what I opted out for, because I need this done today, and they wouldn't have this hose until sometime next week. So what I'm going to do is you can see I have a hole in this hose where it looked like it got burned or something. So I'm gonna cut this hose off right there after that burn mark and take this rubber hose, stick on it, and then put the end of this on this valve. So we're just making a hose, making it work for what we need it for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cut. Use this device here if I can figure out how it works. So I'm gonna use this device here to cut this. Hopefully it doesn't break it. I just want to cut it. All right, did it good enough. So now we'll be able to slide this on top of this hose like that, and we'll be good. Now I have to worry about this end. And what I'm gonna do with this end is I'm gonna cut this hose exactly where I need it, and I won't put this end on until I put the breather hose back on the vehicle, so I know how much I need. But I'm gonna boil some water and get the end of this hose hot, because this hose is a little smaller diameter than what I need to fit over this one. So if I boil it hot enough to get it hot, I should be able to stretch this hose just enough to get it over this. So now that we have that straight, I'll show you what we're gonna do with the other PCV valve, which goes on the right side, which was the back of the motor. So with that one, my local parts store didn't have that one in stock as well. So this is it. I had it sitting in some brake cleaner. This is it. And as you can see, it's supposed to be another hole right there, but it's clogged up. That one is barely open up, and that one looks to be clogged as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a drill bit, drill these holes out a little bigger, drill this one out a little bigger, drill that one out a little bigger, and we're gonna clean it, and we're gonna just reinstall this one back on the vehicle until my parts store is able to get me one. But I wanted to make this video and get the video out so you will know exactly where it's at and what's causing the problem, why you're getting all in this boot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on a time lapse, and we're gonna get these things drilled out and get them clean, and we'll be right back. Bam! All right, I'm back. I'm gonna grab a little bit bigger drill bit, and we're gonna drill the end of it out. All right, guys. All right, guys, now that we got it drilled out, it should allow it to breathe a whole lot better. So I'm gonna sit this in the same brake cleaner that I use to clean the intake. I'm gonna sit this in here and just let it sit and soak until I get ready to to reinstall it, just to clean it up a little bit. So we'll let that sit there for a while. We'll go back to the vehicle and get everything situated for us to install it again. Be right back. All right, guys, so now that we have it clean, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall it back. So it's a tight space, so hopefully you guys can see. So it goes in right here. Oh. And it just pushes down. All right. So as you can see, it's seated all the way. So what we're gonna do is take this hose and reinstall the hose back on it. And you just grab it and push it down. And to take it off, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this little knob here, all you want to do is pull that knob. If you can see it, I can't tell if you can see, but you can see, you just pull that knob and the hose will slide right off. But for us, we installing it, so we push it back down. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and get this boot back installed. We've already cleaned it and sprayed it out and wiped it down. So I like to put the part that's actually on the intake on first. Then once you get that one on, you can push this side on, because this side is flexible. So you can push this side and get it in place. Once you have it lined up, take your screwdriver or whatever you have to tighten it with. Whatever you took to loose it, that's what you take to tighten it. And you want to tighten it back. Now you don't have to crank these things down. Now they don't have to be that tight. Then you want to go to the opposite side and get that one. We got that tight. So we have the hose already on this end. We just slide it up. And these hoses don't have any pressure on or anything. It's just a intake, like a breather type hose. So they don't need clamps or anything. So we have this one on this end, which we can go ahead and attach it here. So now we know where that one is going to go. For us to get the length of this hose that we're going to need, I just going to eyeball it. So we'll cut this hose right about here. That should be all we need. All right. And that should be all we need right there. That'll work. All right, that should work. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ball me some water in a cup, and we're gonna try to see if we can get this hose over this nipple. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so what we have here is, it's not ideal, but it will work. You know, this hose doesn't have any pressure or anything on it, so it will work. We got it squeezed on with a little bit of dish soap and some hot water, and it's not on far, but it's good enough for now. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and install it, and hopefully you guys can see. And I'll install it right back here where we took it out from. Pop it back in. Once you get it popped in, I slide this piece over and we'll connect the hose. All right, guys, so that's the finished product. You know, it's not perfect, but it will work for what we need it to work for. So that's it. That's how you basically install the PCV valve on these 2013 Chevrolet Traverses, and a bunch of other Chevrolet vehicles has this same engine in it, so you should be able to use this same video for those purposes. Like I said, our local parts store could not get this hose in today, and I needed it today. They have to order it, but I needed it today, so I ended up getting a piece of gas line hose and heater line hose and just making it work. That's all we needed. And on the back side, we ended up drilling out that valve, PCV valve, and we cleaned it, and that should free up and be able to let everything breathe and stop allowing oil to recirculate back into this intake. So we should have a clean intake for now. Maybe like a week or so from now, I'll check it out, and I might put a short out of how clean it is now compared to what it was today when we did the cleaning and replacing. So make sure you guys check out your PCV valves if you have all built up into your intake box. And another issue I've been having, and I'm thinking this was my problem since I realized this hose was split, my air conditioning, I was smelling like car vapor, like crankcase vapors, like gas smell, oil smell. I've been smelling that in the inside through my air conditioner, and I'm thinking maybe the air is being sucked back into the vents, which is here, and going back, recirculating back into the car's air conditioning system. So hopefully that fixes my vapor issue where I'm smelling vapor fumes or something. Hopefully that fixes that issue as well. So with that being said, man, I thank you guys for watching and tuning in to our video, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and guess what? Peace.